Hi everyone, Harris here with iDownload Blog, and we've got the new 2020 iPad Pro. I have the 11-inch 256 gig space gray model here. I'm going to test it out with a ton of videos, but today I want to start with the top 7 new features of this iPad, the 7 things that I think make this stand out. Some of them are things that you'll notice immediately, and other things are more of future-proofing that'll make this a better tablet down the road compared to other iPads. Let's go ahead and get started. So starting out with number 1 is actually just really simple but great. So last year the iPad started out at 64 gigabytes for the baseline $799 iPad Pro. This year it starts at 128 gigabytes, so you get double the capacity for the same price, and that's fantastic to see. It also means that to double it to 256 gigabytes is $50 cheaper. Instead of a $150 upgrade is now a $100 upgrade, and all of the upgrades up to a terabyte are now cheaper. So that is wonderful to see. You can upgrade for cheaper, and for a lot of people the base 128 gigabytes is going to be absolutely enough. So that's very nice to see this year. Secondly, so the iPad is now faster. It has the A12Z processor, but as early benchmarks show, that's not a huge upgrade over the iPad from 2 years ago that had the A12X processor. It's going to be very similar. But what is nice is that it has 50% more RAM, more random access memory. This will allow you to basically have more going on your iPad. Previously, the 1 terabyte version of the iPad Pro would give you 6 gigabytes of RAM, but now every iPad Pro 2020 has 6 gigabytes of RAM. So when you're multitasking and going between different applications and you want to go back to that app that was open an hour ago, theoretically it's going to be about 50% better, more responsive for apps that have been remained open, and you're going to be able to do more without the iPad boggling down. This is something that you probably won't notice just from browsing the web and very simple things like that. But if you're bouncing around between apps or you're doing something like editing photo or video or just anything more intensive, the extra RAM will be a great feature to have, and down the road, more RAM will mean a more reliable tablet. While the processor might not be a huge jump over the 2018 iPad, having that extra RAM will be helpful. Now, before we go too much further in this video, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor, which is Paperlike. Paperlike screen protectors add an amazing texture to your iPad. It's a matte finish and it's got new nano dots technology in the 2nd generation. And if you have an Apple Pencil, this is an absolutely crucial accessory. It gives it that paper-like feeling and texture when you're using the Apple Pencil. But even otherwise, it takes away those disgusting fingerprints that are on the screen of your iPad and really makes it a great feeling and looking display. So if you want that nice matte texture and finish on your iPad, check out the link in the description for Paperlike 2. Next, there are new studio microphones on this iPad. So we just saw this with the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Apple threw in speakers that honestly sound very impressive if you're in a quiet environment. It sounds like you're using a budget microphone, like a dedicated microphone, but it's built right into the computer. And this iPad, which is far quieter than a MacBook is, it's silent. It's going to be amazing if you need to record audio in a pinch, if you're recording a voiceover, if you forget your microphone, or if you're just doing FaceTime audio or FaceTime or Zoom. Anything like that, using a microphone on your iPad is going to sound great. Or a voice memo for class or anything like that. It's going to give you really solid audio. Here's what the audio quality sounds like coming from the new iPad Pro. This is about 6 inches away from my face, just holding it normally. And you can hear that it sounds very impressive. Now, if you pair the great microphone with number 4, which is the new wide-angle camera and video recording settings, you're going to have actually a really impressive media creation machine instead of just media consumption machine. So while maybe a little bit awkward to use your iPad as a camera, it makes for an amazing viewfinder. You have this huge full screen of a viewfinder, so when you're recording something, it's really easy to get your shot. And it may be a little awkward to use this and maybe hard to actually get a wide shot because you really have to get far behind with such a large device. But the good thing is that the new wide angle camera means that A, you don't have to be as far behind, B, you get new angles, and C, you get new video recording settings. So a new wide-angle camera will give you more diversified shots, just like the iPhone 11 has. Again, if you're just doing FaceTime video, that's one thing, but if you want to actually get some good video, use this as maybe a secondary camera on a shoot that you're doing, anything like that. The iPad is going to be not only just a great consumption machine, but a decent production machine. You're going to be able to get decent footage and pretty great audio. Next is Wi-Fi 6. So this isn't going to be a huge difference today, but this is getting into the future-proofing aspect of this iPad. With Wi-Fi 6, it is going to allow for much faster maximum Wi-Fi speeds, but maximum Wi-Fi speeds don't really affect what you're actually getting. But what Wi-Fi 6 will allow you to do, and if you have a Wi-Fi 6 router, what it's going to allow in the future is much better management of all the dozens and dozens of devices that you have in your household, from smart lights to your garage door to all the tablets and devices and everything that's connected to the internet. Wi-Fi 6 devices are going to be great for better communication, faster speeds, and just much more reliable connections when this rolls out kind of mainstream. So the iPad 2020 will have that ability to use Wi-Fi 6 that the old iPad Pro won't quite have. So it's going to be a great future-proofing for better, more reliable, more consistent, and faster Wi-Fi in the future. Next, the 2020 iPad has Apple's U1 Ultra sideband location technology that's the same as the iPhone 11. Now, Apple hasn't made a big deal about this because it's likely to be a big deal come WWDC, where Apple is going to announce their new tile-like tracker, probably called Apple Tag. And this will allow you to put a little tracker on your different devices, just like a tile, and you can find its location from your device. And so the iPad now has that U1 chip, which is going to be really important and really great for tracking devices that you lose around the house or in the car or whatever. So the iPad has that functionality that the previous iPad does not, and it's the same as the iPhone 11, it just has that. So again, future-proofing for WWDC, when this becomes most likely a big thing, the iPad will be able to support that out of the box. And last but not least, or maybe least, is the new LiDAR sensor. So you'll notice that extra little circle on the camera module on the back, and LiDAR is just laser technology, essentially, that's really going to help with augmented reality. Apple doesn't make their own augmented reality stuff yet. They don't have like a headset or anything like that, but it's likely to come at some point. It's definitely going to be improved at some point with WWDC. So again, we have a lot that's going to happen in June, so if you're watching this after the fact, you're already going to know this stuff, but augmented reality is absolutely going to be a part of the future, and this iPad will better be able to support it. It'll be faster, more accurate, and reliable. You can already use it with some of IKEA stuff or Amazon stuff when you're like putting furniture or a wallpaper or a poster like on your wall. You can use that kind of augmented reality, or Apple's Measure app, where you can measure things around your house with your iPad using AR. This iPad will have that future-proof technology built in, and that's a reason to have this. Is just that is going to be a part of the future, and this will do it better than the 2018 iPad Pro. So you'll have to let me know if any of those features are convincing for you, the viewer, the customer, to buy this iPad. Ultimately, for everyday life, the 2018 iPad Pro is rock solid. But of course, I'll be doing tons more videos. Let me know what videos you want to see about the new iPad, and thanks for watching.